because I went for the most best top anime, as you guys know, Magic Girl website, and I was hoping that most people will be disturbed by it because it was kind of like a jackass type of thing. It's like, let's see if we can creep people out, but most of you perverts not only enjoyed it, but after I left, you kept watching it, and there's people that are telling me, "Oh my god, I watched it, and it was like so good." And now I'm reading the manga, and I'm like, wow, way to completely miss the point. What the hell? But at least one guy was on Twitter complaining that it emotionally scarred him, and that's like, okay, well, my faith in humanity has been restored. There is a sane person that doesn't like to see little girls doing magical things with a lot of gore and blood and a lot of nastiness and online bullying. Well, actually, it was offline bullying. So yeah, I guess like there was one person that reacted like a normal human. I guess, like Pippa likes to say, like if we talk about it from a biblical point of view, that anime is messed up, but like from internet point of view, it's not. I mean, yes, I'm aware there's worse animes than it. So okay, we decided what we're going to watch next Sunday. It's going to be Demolition Man, so it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to do it, because apparently on Discord, a single person can stream for 50 people, and last time there was like 200 people. But I guess as long as everyone streams off of other people, like if we have Yeeted streaming, and then we have like 3 other streaming of Yeeted, then it probably can work. So we can have like 4 streamers. I can accommodate like 200 people watching. If it's going to be more than 200 people, then I don't know. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. So, how many people do I have? Alternatively, like someone said, they have a website, like a Twitch thing, and maybe they can stream there, and then like everyone can watch it. Stream tepid. I've no idea what that is. You're speaking in a foreign language to me right now, so we'll see. I guess like it would be a good idea if we can accommodate like 200 people. Stream tepid. Yeah, I mean, like as long as everyone is on Discord, and there is like a link that people can click and they get to see the whole thing, that's acceptable. Decentralized storage. I don't even know what that is. Like, can you speak English? Jesus, it's like when Rodney McKay started talking in Atlantis, and I didn't understand anything. Yes. No, we're not watching Conquest is the Sea of the Sun. Do you understand if I let people just make suggestions like that, I would just not be able to pick? We put it up to a vote. People voted. We're watching Demolition Man, Yataro. I am sorry, but this is what we're doing. We're watching Demolition Man. And next week, we're probably going to watch RoboCop. I'm going to say about things that don't require episodes, right? Because like if you watch episodic content, then by the time you reach like episode 7, a lot of people tune out, and the new people that come in, they don't know what happened, so it's not really a good idea. My conquest in the Sea of Stars. What the fuck is even that? Demolition Man has 90 Sandra Bullock. Yeah, you expect 400 people? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, yeah, well, Demolition Man is going to be next. We'll see what we can do. The stream tepid, I don't even know what the fuck it is, but maybe I'll figure it out. DM me on Discord, the man of culture, and we'll see what we can accomplish together. What the fuck is Jordan Peterson re-education camp? I've no fuck. I have stopped watching Jordan Peterson ever since he started being an edgelord online. Don't get me wrong, I still like his ideology. I mean, the things that Jordan Peterson says make sense. A lot of his advice are great advice that I would give to my children. But when he starts being an edgelord online, and it's like, just so fucking cringe, Just publish your books and I'll read them. But like, I'm not going to read what you're tweeting. If you're going to be, oh my god, it's like, up yours, woke moralists. Oh, you'll see your comeuppance. If you try to take my car, Justin Trudeau, you'll see what's going to happen. And then like, dude, you don't even have the courage to say what's going to happen on Twitter, okay? Shut the fuck up. So yes, it's being very edgy. The Canadian government wants him to be literally re-educate. Give me a link to that. I thought like Jordan Peterson is asking people to get re-educated. Hold on. Jordan Peterson re-educate. That would be so fucking interesting. Holy shit, that is true. Okay, the Jewish press. This is what came up on Google. I don't know about this website. But it's asking me for my email in order to send me to send me spam. So the Jewish press. See, the JewishPress.com, Jerusalem, Israel. I'm not right. This is what came up. The Ontario College of Psychologists has demanded that Jordan Peterson submit himself to mandatory social media communication retraining with experts. This is like, let's make Canada a place where people feel like hard work pays off and they're respected, where leaders don't turn off and point fingers at them but lift them up, where we have a prime minister that brings people together, blah, 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 blah. People said that he has been accused of harming people. Harming people translates to problematic. So Jordan Peterson has been accused of being problematic, although none of the complaints were clients of his, past or present, or even were acquainted with any of his clients. Peterson added that about a dozen of people from all over the world submitted complaints about his public statement on Twitter, and Rogan over 4 years claiming that he was problematic in his views. He said that he is being required to take a retraining course with reports documenting his progress on an in-person tribunal. Oh my fucking god, this sounds like the most authoritarian shit that I would expect from Australia, not from Canada. I have to take a course of such training with reports documenting my progress or face an in-person tribunal and suspension of my right to operate as a licensed clinical psychologist. About a dozen of people from all over the world submitted complaints about blah, 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 blah. Just don't fucking do it. Just don't fucking do it. I really hate this thing. Like, okay, this is why I hate the science, right? Because the science has been fucking corrupt. Like, you have a world-renowned clinical psychologist that has obviously, you know, helped many people, but published books. Like, you're telling me, like, if I have a Jordan Peterson book in my house right now, right now, it is a worldwide renowned clinical psychologist, right? Like, if I have a Jordan Peterson book. But if he fails this test, right? Like, he fails to submit himself for re-education, and he loses his license, does my book lose its value? Like, does the book that he wrote, is it still good or not? Is this how science works now? Is this like the scientific method? Mind-boggling, isn't it? I would like to ask Dr. Fauci. Apparently, you know, the science is retiring, I heard. I don't know what the world was going to do without him. Like, we're losing the science. This is what happens when Dr. Fauci retires. You lose the science. Here's another question, right? Like, let's assume that I write an academic paper and I cite Jordan Peterson in my paper. If he loses the license, is my paper still valid? Do I still get an A? Do I still get grade as an A? Or is it like, oh, who did you cite here? Like, who's this guy? Jordan Peterson. Never heard of him. It's Trudeauism, isn't it? I don't think he needs to treat a patient ever again. Well, it's not about treating patients, obviously. It's about the prestige. That's what they're going for, right? Like, because obviously, like, Jordan Peterson is rich as fuck, and he doesn't need to treat people. And even, like, if he doesn't have a license to treat people, he could still say, sign up for my Patreon. If you give me $500 a month, I will have, like, 10-minute Skype call with you. And there will be people that will give him money. So it's not like he needs money at this point, right? Like, it's not that he needs cash. He's also an elderly person close to retirement. So none of that is important. That they want to go after his reputation. They want to go after his prestige. That's what they want to do. Canada loves programming. We look very nice from the outside. What was Canada doing chemical castration back in the time when it was popular, when eugenics were a thing? See, a lot of people say that the Nazis were doing eugenics, which is true, but so did the United States and Sweden. And for some fucking reason, no one brings that up. I'm curious if Canada had the eugenics program. That wasn't that long ago. Like, the Sweden recently, actually, I think like 3 years ago, decided to reimburse the families of people that end up being castrated through their eugenics program. Because they're still alive today, right? Like, it's not like you're talking about slavery that happens like hundreds of years in the past. No, like, this is recent. By the way, wasn't Canada the ones that found like a mass grave near a school with like indigenous people and shit? I don't know about that. Like, Dev says that that's blown out of proportion. I don't know. He got prestige and reputation from telling his university to fuck off. Like, literally, that's why he got prestige. Like, I remember Jordan Peterson, like, literally said a couple of years ago, because this is how, like, the slippery slope functions, right? Like, you call it out and they say it's a slippery slope, but then you just keep on fucking slipping. It doesn't stop. So Jordan Peterson said that the reason he is against using pronouns is because it's compelled speech, right? So he understands censorship. Like, he understands you shouldn't be able to say something, but he doesn't agree with the fact that you're compelled to say things, right? Like, he doesn't agree with compelled speech. And he pointed out that eventually you may end up getting in prison if you refuse to say the speech. And everyone laughed at him. It's like, oh, come on, Peterson, you're ridiculous. You know, like, this is just to respect transgender people. Like, obviously, nobody's going to go to prison. And there were cases when a person refused to use the pronouns, and then they were fined. They refused to pay the fine, and then they risked imprisonment, right? How did Jordan Peterson do it? Like, was he like a fucking prophet? Did he have a crystal ball? Did he take his pants down and looked into his crystal orbs? Anyway, a mass graves with no body in it? I don't know. I saw it in the mainstream media. It must be true, man. Why would the mainstream media lie to me about Canada? But yeah, apparently it was fake news. Still, I just saw the headline. I never made a video about it. This is like the headline. It's like, oh, look, they found the mass grave. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's in another country. I never been there. I didn't participate in it. I don't know. I guess. Happened a long time ago. What do you have it to say? Oh, look, they found the mass grave. Okay. By the way, do you want to know something? Like, how you can piss off a lot of people? Apparently, another athlete fell from his feet. An NFL athlete. I don't know his name. Apparently, like, he had a heart issue on the field. But, man, not good. Not good. Now, people are asking if he's vaccinated, right? And what I noticed, this is what I find hilarious. Like, just asking people, was he vaccinated? Just the question. Just the question. Was he vaccinated? You ask that, people get upset. And I snapped at someone and I was like, motherfucker, you guys didn't want me to get into a fucking McDonald's unless I gave you my health status. Unless I gave you my private medical information. You didn't want me to go into a fucking McDonald's. And now that I'm asking for someone else's private medical information, you're chipping out at me? Like, why? Why you do this? I don't watch NFL, but it's all over the news, man. And literally every single person that watches falls into two camps. The camp that wants to know if the football player was vaccinated, and the camp that's upset that people want to know whether or not he was vaccinated. I'm not even making a connection, right? Like, I'm not even saying, like, people would just want to check the health status. They just want to see the QR code. That's literally it. And people get really upset. People get really upset. And I remember, like, 2 years ago, I couldn't get into a McDonald's without having to show QR code. You couldn't sit and have a cup of coffee without showing your personal medical records. People demanded to see them. You want to see your personal medical record? Okay, fine, you know. But now that I'm curious, all of a sudden people are upset. There is a history of people having heart attacks when doing high professional sports. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying, why are people upset when you want to check the health status. I want to right-click the football player, move the mouse over the health status, press left click, and see what's there. Is that it? It's out of concern. It's out of concern. I'm concerned, you know, because he might be killing grandma or some shit. I want to know. Again, I don't care about the vaccines. I don't care about the disease. All I care is consistency. All right, like consistency. If consistently I have been asked about my health status, why can't I ask now? What is it a secret now? Are we back to like medical records being a secret? When did that happen? Why were they made public in the first place? Is it a player or an NFT? Oh shit. Did you get the shot? No. Did you know who else didn't get the shot? Medicare. Anyway, when you ask if he was jabbed, the government will tell you people die in sports all the time instead of answering the question. I'm not implying that the jab did anything to him. Like, I haven't asked that. All I want to know is, like, his QR status. Does he have a QR code? That's it. Why do I want to know? Because people ask me for 2 fucking years constantly. Every single time I went somewhere, people ask. Now I want to know. All of a sudden. Why? Because I just want to know. That's it. There's no other reason. I'm just curious. I'm like a cat. I want to paw at it. I'm just really concerned, you know, if grandma is safe. I'm the only person in my house that didn't get it. Oh, well, you know, it is what it is. I'm just laughing at this shit. Like, I genuinely don't care one way or another, you know, because obviously you can't prove it, right? Like, you can't make the connection. But what I'm saying is it's surprisingly interesting. How for so long, like for really long, you had people that just constantly asked you, and now it's just like radio silence. Okay, fine, you know, don't tell me. I will assume that if you don't tell me that he had it, how about that? Because if he didn't have it, then you would have told me. Like, if he didn't have me immediately, like, everyone would knew. Hello, Waronto the Ping. He's in my chat. Okay. I will tell you something else right now. I went out with my wife a couple of days ago. And as I'm getting up, I'm walking out of the restaurant. I'm walking out of the venue. And my wife comes after me and says, VV, you forgot your wallet. I'm like, okay, you know, that never happened. But hey, I forgot my wallet. Okay. Today, I went shopping. And I'm like at the thing which gets people fired, the robot. You know, where you scan the product yourself. Like, you get to be the cashier. You get to feel like you're the cashier and you're taking someone else's job because the store is cheap. And you just, you know, scan your stuff. And as I'm walking away, a kid is like, hey, mister, you forgot your phone. Now my wife doesn't fucking trust me to leave the house. Like, she panics if I want to leave the house. Because she's afraid that I may forget something. To be honest, I'm afraid as well. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I keep forgetting shit? I mean, I only have, like, 2 things in my hand. I have my wallet and my phone. Like, why do I keep forgetting them? It is, like, man, it is a problem. I'm starting to wonder. Am I getting brain damage? Like, why is going on? Why am I, like, one day after another? My wife is spooked. Like, she's hashtag concerned. She's like a journalist right now. Happy New Year, dude. Keep up the good work. Why, thank you, Editor MG. I appreciate that. She cares about my money, which is her money, if you think about it. I don't know if it's Alzheimer or dementia or anything. It's just like not noticing. I don't think you can have early stages of dementia at the age of 36, dude. It's a little bit too early. Although there is a thing when kids can get dementia. Very rare case. It's a genetic condition where you can get like dementia in very early kids. I think it's actually triggered by drugs as well. But anyway, moral of the story, V is so poor. You don't need it anymore. What the fuck? I don't smoke though. This is just anyway. Yeah, we don't do drugs in Romania. Speaking of Romania, Andrew Tate. Now, I notice a lot of people just look. If Andrew Tate tells you that the grass is green, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's fucking green. So he basically said that he made his house, like he turned his house into a shooting range. I don't think you can do that in Romania. Alright? Like there are no shooting ranges in Romania as far as I know, because I want to shoot guns. The only shooting ranges that we have in Romania are airsoft guns. Romania is one of the strictest countries when it comes to gun control, not in Europe, but in the fucking world. Right? Like, the idea that he turned his house into a gun range baffles me. I'm not saying it's not possible, okay? Like, when I went to law school, it's been more than 10 years ago. Things could have changed. There may be new legislation, but as far as I know, there are no gun ranges in Romania. Except, so there's two exceptions. Number one, for competition and sports. But those are like a special type of gun, and they have like special regulation, and they're outdoors, right? And number two, military. And of course, then you have like the paramilitary, I guess, you know, like the police, special forces, right? So you need to be a member of the government, basically, to be able to do that. You got gun ranges if you're like a police officer, if you feel that your life is in danger, but it's not like you feel that your life is in danger. So like, okay, the way you get a gun in Romania is that you need to justify, so not fear, justify that your life may be in danger. So basically, you're a woman and your ex-husband just broke out of prison and is planning to come to your place, right? He's on the lam, and you file that in as a police report, and you ask permission to get a gun, and then you do training for like 2 weeks, and by the time you hope that the guy, you know, who's on the lam doesn't visit you, and then when you get the gun, you gotta hold it into two separate places. So you gotta put the gun in a safe. You gotta put the ammo in another safe. The gun needs to be unloaded. The safe needs to be in a wall. The police has the right, like when you do this, you give the police the right to enter your house at any time to check to see if the gun is held the proper way. Okay? Like that is Romania. And people go like, oh, well, if you're given your gun right. Man, we had the Red fucking Army over here. Like, we used to have a Second Amendment just like the United States. But the Communist Army, alright, with tanks and shit, they came in here and they took away the Second Amendment. They killed people, okay? Like, it wasn't just about the guns, because, like, they took people's private property, they took people's shit. Anyone that didn't want to have their stuff taken was killed. This is happening after a war. You know, most of our men died in Stalingrad. It's like, it's not really that easy. It's like, oh, well, if you give away your gun rights. It's like, okay, well, people fought. They lost. This is what happens when you lose a war. And since then, up until today, Romania has some of the most restrictive gun rights in the entire world. The punishment for having a gun is insanely high. Right? So, people are saying that this may actually be a pellet gun. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I had people messaging me saying that it's like a Glock knockoff. I had people saying me that this is a pellet gun. I had people saying that this is a gun that, like, you can see the CO2 cartridge. I don't fucking know. All I know is that if this gun belongs to him and it's unregistered, he's going to be in a lot of shit. And then there's another thing where people say, well, okay, but like, they didn't charge him with anything. That's not how it works, okay? This is the part of the investigation. The investigation is not in secret. Basically what it means is that they're gathering evidence, okay? And after they finish gathering evidence, then they charge him. It's not like in the United States. Basically what it means is like this investigation is done in secret with the help of the press, which shouldn't happen. It's illegal, but it happens anyway. Go sue them if you don't like it. Andrew Tate is theoretically going to be under 30 days arrest because he poses a flight risk. And you might say, well, why does he pose a flight risk? He's not going to run away. Okay, but that's not how they do it. All right, like the judge doesn't look at the personality of the guy and goes like, oh, well, you know, he seems cooperative. No, like he's got British citizenship. I think he's got U.S. citizenship. Might be wrong, but he's got British citizenship. He's got a private jet, right? Like, he's a flight risk. Any judge looking at that, like that's the only two things he needs to see. And it's like, okay, he's a millionaire. He's got a private jet. He's got like all of this shit. Okay, flight risk. So they're going to put him probably in 30 days detainment. Because it's not really arrest, we call it detainment. And during this time, the police keeps gathering evidence, builds up a case, and then they charge him with what they found. Alright? And then like the police contacts his lawyer, show the lawyer like this is what, right, like they show him all the file, like this is what we have, this is what we're charging him with, blah, 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 blah. That's how it works. So if this gun actually belongs to him and it's illegal, like let's say he brought it through his jet, because that's one of the way you can bring a gun into the country, right? Like you got the jet, got it here. Let's say that the rape accusation falls, you know, like nothing sticks. They can still charge him with the gun. Why? Because they went into his house, searched it, and found the gun. Okay? Like that's how it works. I'm not trying to take any sides here. I'm telling you how the Romanian law functions. How do you go back to Romania's Second Amendment without a Second Amendment? There have been European countries that actually got back to Second Amendment. I think the Czech Republic, I might be wrong, but I know there is one country that got back to the Second Amendment. The way they did it is justifying it with the Ukraine conflict. I mean, Ukraine, for example, now has a Second Amendment, de facto. They're probably not going to be able to take it back, right? I think it was just one gun, yeah, but could be two. This is why you'll never be top V. The Matrix has you. Well, I motherfucker! I get the meme, but like I'm just explaining you the legislation of my country. It's not like the way I want things to be, I'm just telling you how they are. Oh yeah, Victor Bout can get a gun. Yeah, you need a war. Like honestly, if you look at history, wars, they completely changed not just the map, but culture. I mean, look, World War II completely erased the British Empire. Then, like, culturally, geographically, like, a lot of things change. I mean, look, World War II, right? Like, Romania used to have a Second Amendment, now we don't. So yeah, you definitely need to have a war in order to change something so massively. Bucharest has many gun ranges. From what I know, most of the gun ranges, they have airsoft or gun pellets. I don't think you can go in Bucharest and fire an AK-47. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, as a civilian, go into Bucharest and fire a rifle at a gun range. Can you do that? I'm genuinely curious. You can't do it in my town. I know that for sure. I think you have, like, a gun range for, what is it? Like, sports activities, but they have, like, a different type of guns. Not just airsoft, but there's like one more. The one that fires the one that fires with paint guns. Yeah, paint gun. Holy shit. Yes. I have never shot a gun. Ever. Why not reestablish Second Amendment in my country? Because due to the fact that people don't even go to military service, people are legitimately terrified of guns. Like, if you take a gun and you place it in front of me right now, just by, like, the fact that it exists, Just by it has an aura of dread. It frightens me. I remember like speaking with an American and he loaded a gun like on camera. Just like by seeing it on the fucking camera, it frightens me. Why? It's a phobia. I don't fucking know. Just by like it's there. It's fucking scary. Like, do you understand this? The Romanian mindset. I can't get out of it. I know I shouldn't be scared. Like I need to fight my phobia for this. Is that something that I can control? It's irrational. What if you need to shoot a gun someday? Well, I'll have to get over my phobia, I suppose. What can I say? You know, it is what it is. I personally shot a real pistol. Did you shoot it at a gun range in Romania? Did they happen to pop up in Bucharest? Anyway, right. Break the conditioning. So the thing is, like, a lot of people ask, like, well, what about hunting? Okay, like, what if you want to have a hunting gun? Well, if you want to have a hunting gun, you can, but you gotta register at a hunting association, and then you have to carry the same thing. Like, you have the gun in one safe and the ammo in another safe, and you're only allowed to buy a certain number of bullets. And you're not allowed to use it even in self-defense. So if you're a hunter, and let's say like someone breaks into your house, threatens to murder you, you're not allowed to use the gun. I think like if in that situation, if you use the gun, like let's say someone breaks into your house with an axe, okay, and he's coming towards you, and you use the gun, it's illegal, but I think like the judge is going to kind of sort of understand it and give you like the minimum, but you still get in trouble with the law. Anyway, right. Meet is Arab in Europe. Romania is California, yeah. Kinda, yeah. Print your own 3D gun. Do you understand just in how much trouble you will get? And not even that, but like, if you use it, even in self-defense, you get in trouble. Like, I don't know what to say. Get a flare gun. I think a flare gun is actually... Yeah, like if you have a flare gun... So, that's an interesting thing, right? Because like if you have a flare gun, even though it's called a gun, I don't think it's classified as a weapon of war or whatever the fuck they call it, right? So if you use a flare gun for self-defense, I would have to ask a lawyer that actually does these types of cases. And maybe he knows of a case that was actually done, and it was but like I don't think anyone did that, right? Because like the way that the gun is described in the legislation, it has to use like actual bullets, but a flare gun uses a flare. So the law that regulates the use of firearms is called the weapon. Is the law of firearms and explosives. Right? So, basically, you're not allowed to have, like, ammunition, firearms, explosives. Because I remember at law school, I asked, like, what happens if someone throws a Molotov cocktail? Because a Molotov cocktail isn't explosive. And they were like, oh, well, in that case, you're, endangering the public by use of an incendiary weapon. So it's, like, something completely different. An incendiary device. But it's, like, a lot lax, a lot more... Basically, you go to prison for less than if you use a firearm. Happy New Year. Well, thank you, Julie Bora. I missed you. The state doesn't want you to have the ability to defend yourself. Well, again, like, the state has changed, right? It was the communists that didn't want you to defend yourself. So, like, the Red Army came here, as I said, brought their tanks, brought their people. This is what happens when you lose a war. And they took the Second Amendment away. They disarmed the populace. That's the first thing that they did. So with the population disarmed, yeah, and then after the Communist Revolution, and we overthrew them, we still never got a Second Amendment back. I have legal explosives. I don't think those exist in Romania. They even want to ban firecrackers because it scares the dogs away. I'm not even kidding. This is what really pisses me off, you know? It's like, some guy threw a firecracker in front of an old man, and because of that, no one is allowed to have firecrackers. I'm like, how about that guy goes to rot in prison, and you leave my firecrackers alone? You know, how about that? Like, if someone does fucking stupid, or like, oh, well, this guy, you know, he bought firecrackers, and he stuffed them up his asshole, and then went up at the emergency hospital. How the fuck is that my fault? How the fuck is that my fault? Like, how you know, do you do this with cars? It's like, oh, someone bought a car, and then drove it off a bridge. No one should have cars anymore. I don't understand this fucking logic at all. It's like, oh, so this guy did something that he wasn't supposed to do with the merchandise, got himself injured, so now I'm not allowed to use the merchandise. I really hate this type of mentality. It's just... And the thing with the dogs, right? Like, what happens when there's a storm? What happens when a lightning cracks next to a dog? Or like when you have a car, or when there's construction work, and you have noises, right? Like, do I need to give a fuck about the dogs then? Is it my fault that there's stray dogs in Romania? How about this? Everyone that has a dog keeps it inside during the fucking holiday season. Remember when we had firecrackers 40 years ago? Some kid lost a finger. How is it my fault? Why is the kid even having a firecracker? Where were his parents? Why would you give firecrackers to your fucking children? See, like, all these questions that should have been asked never got asked. I didn't put a firecracker in that kid's hand. I didn't tell them to do it. Not to mention, how the fuck did I manage to throw firecrackers when I was a kid and I didn't blow up my fingers? Again, like, I hate it when we look at the lowest common denominator out of a country of 20 million people, and we find the person that is the most irresponsible, and we legislate based on that person. It's good that individualism isn't prioritized over the majority in Romania. Oh, God. I mean, look, the thing is, if we don't do this type of thinking with other things, like, for example, knives, okay? Are there kids who play with knives and injure themselves? Yes. Do we ban knives? No. We blame the parent, we blame the child, we blame, like, whoever uses the knife irresponsibly. That's a sane, normal, healthy society. You don't get to decide, okay, well, because this guy did something stupid, no one should have access to the... I'm not stupid like that guy. When I was a kid, I didn't cut myself with a knife. It's not that fucking hard. And by the way, another thing that pisses me off, alright? The use of AI. So now we have artificial intelligence that can draw, and we have artificial intelligence that can write. And everyone is worried about child pornography, right? So, like, using the AI to draw you CP, or using the AI to write you a text with CP. I understand why it's problematic. But why the fuck is it the fault of the developers of the AI? So you're telling me that if we apply the same logic, right? If someone uses a camera to take a photo of CP, is like the camera manufacturer that's to blame, or the person who fucking did it? How about you arrest the person who uses the AI for that shit? I'm perfectly fine. You know, you use the AI, like, they already have your email, they know who you are. If you use the AI to create illicit material, in whatever form that is, the cops should knock at your door. Right? Like, that is the exact way that I think it should happen. You use the AI in order to draw something that is illegal, have the cops knock at your door. I don't want the developers to be responsible. Like, the developers just create a tool. You know, if someone uses a hammer to bash someone else on the head, should the hammer manufacturer get in trouble? I don't understand. AI should be legislated out of existence. Dude, Krusty, just stop. Just stop. You know, like, come with the times. You know, like, you can't stop the advancement of technology. Is the future. Just figure out a way how you can monetize it and live next to it. It's like trying to stop the Industrial Revolution. You can't. All right, I understand. During the before the Industrial Revolution, everyone had a job, and then like the factories come up, and it takes away jobs from people, and it's very difficult for society to readjust. It happened. Do you think I like it? Do you think I fucking like that? The fact that there's now a AI VTuber that can stream 24/7, interact with the chat, and is more funny than me. Do you think I enjoy that? No, I don't. But like, what can I do? This is how the world is going. This is what the future is going to bring. You can't legislate it out of existence. There's no reason to. You can't stop the AI. It's like, okay, like if you stop the AI, let's say the United States stop the AI, then China does it, and then China manages to overtake the United States economically, and not just economically, but technologically, in every other field you want. Like, what are you going to do? Tell the military to stop using AI? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're nerfing your own country. Like, you're gimping your own stuff. But yeah, just to make sure that people understand what I said. If the AI, like if someone uses the AI to create something that's illegal, I think that is the person responsible, right? Like, the person using the camera is responsible, not the camera itself. The camera or the camera manufacturer, right? Like, if you use a car and you damage someone's property, you're responsible, not the car manufacturer. AI taking your job should be the least of your worries. AI becoming self-aware, I don't think like AI will be. Even if the AI becomes self-aware, it's not like in the fucking movies. You can just turn it off. You can unplug it. It's not. Holy shit. Personally, can't wait for Skynet. Well, Skynet might be a waifu, The rigging and censorship of AI is the concerning thing. Yeah. That's what I agree with. Let's look at Twitter. Hold on. I need to make a few clicks. To go on the Twitter. Oh, here we go. Twitter employees toilet paper. Fucking hell. So I love how they keep nitpicking. It's like, oh my god, they have to work overtime. They have to buy their own toilet paper. And I'm sitting here from Eastern Europe and I'm like, and? You mean they didn't have to buy their own toilet paper up till now? I mean, look, it's a company that's losing allegedly $4 million per day. $4 million per day. I will never see that much money in my life. If your company loses $4 million a day, then yeah. Yeah, okay. I get why it doesn't have toilet paper. God. Some Twitter remaining employees have reportedly begun bringing their own toilet paper at the office. Musk scrambled to save money, included a move which fired janitors who worked at the company. Oh, well, if it's in San Francisco, I understand the horror. Look at this timestamp in your video. Hold on, let me check the timestamp in my video. I have to stop now to be able to check the timestamp in my video. It told me, oops, something went wrong. And then it closed. Hold on. I don't think it lets me. What is the timestamp about? I don't think it allows me to check it. Oh, looks like the same gun. Dude, we're not talking about the guns anymore. We're not talking about Tate. And motherfucker, why do I keep seeing all these Chinese games? Like, I don't get like phone games. I don't play them. Fucking hell. Anyway, right. So Jannies did get owned at Twitter. Now look. I kind of understand. All of a sudden, I feel more empathy and compassion. This is in San Francisco. right? Like we're not talking about Texas. We're not talking. No, we're talking about Scat Francisco. So like no Jaddies. I can see the problem now. Article sounds sensationalistic. It's probably just one bathroom. Probably. Hold on. Let me just. So apparently, here we go. The absence of janitors have left the office in disarray with bathrooms. By the way, do you know how many offices don't even have janitors? Do you know like how many workplaces I know where like you have to clean after yourself? Like maybe they have like one cleaning lady that comes once a week, but like she just goes and does like the windows and but you're supposed to clean after yourself. Like I know so many places, startups, you know, just is this so unnatural to like have a place that has like maybe just one janitor? Because I'm pretty sure there is still like a couple of janitors left. So the absence of janitors have left the office in disarray. The report said that some employees are bringing in their own toilet paper because no janitors are on hand to replace the supplies. My fucking god, if you guys know how many times I had to bring shit at work, so I had to bring paper, I had to bring paper clips, I had to bring pencils. I mean, this is shocking for me. You know what I love is that the elites are reporting this as if it's shocking, and meanwhile the average people are like, okay, and? They get paid $10,000 a month, alright? Like, if you work at Twitter, like, you got a wage that's like $10,000 a month. Oh, no, they had to buy some toilet paper. Oh, wow. How will they cope? You know, if this was under COVID, when it was like the great toilet paper rush, when you saw people with their shopping carts having like a mountain of toilet paper, yeah, I would understand the problem with that. But, like, come the fuck on. You gotta bring your own toilet paper. I know people that bring their own coffee to work. I know people that bring their own mug, their own cup to drink the coffee from. Like, the idea of bringing your own shit to work is not that unheard of. Yeah, like, I know people who brought water to the water cooler at work. It's not something that's like, oh my god, again, it's a company that loses $4 million fucking dollars. Other budget conscientious moves includes a decision by Musk to shut down of Twitter data centers in Sacramento, despite reported concern that it would hurt the site's performance. Well, those employees need to be fired because apparently the site is still up and running. On Christmas Eve, Musk tweeted that Twitter is still working even after I disconnected one of the more sensitive server racks. The site experienced a widespread outage on Thursday, though the cause is unclear. Yeah, but like, if it's back and the server is still shut down, I guess that's an important decision. Like, dude, if a company is losing $4 million a day, like, every little cent counts. The report said that Twitter has missed rent payments, so its San Francisco offices stopped paying rent entirely at its building in Seattle and is now facing eviction. Yeah, but like, I think Musk said that he's moving to Texas, if I'm not mistaken, so probably this is why he's not paying rent. Additionally, the Musk-led company has reported missed on details payments to some vendors, including account firms, and Twitter's new leaders are said to be aiming to renegotiate some of the agreements at lower cost. So they're like renegotiating the agreements, it's fine. According to the New York Times, Musk has turned off some Twitter employees with an erratic and hands-on style of leadership. Musk is reportedly attempting to shave $500 million in non-labor expenses from Twitter budget. The billionaire has been open about Twitter's financial issues. He bought the company for $44 billion. Musk argued his various cuts were necessary to avoid a $3 billion budget shortfall. Look at this shit, $3 billion. Oh my fucking god. So your company is missing $3 billion and you're like, oh my god, well I have to bring the toilet paper. I have to work overtime. Yeah. Paid toilet stalls. Oh my fucking god. See, now that would have been a smart idea. That would have been a smart move. Paid toilet stalls. You know, like, if he actually did that, I would have laughed. Because I'd be like, okay, you know, like, absolutely no business that I know of has pulled that off. Oh, look, there's more Twitter files. It's about Twitter shutting down Russian disinformation. So glad that people keep us safe from those evil Russians online. I mean, they put words on the screen. It's dangerous. We got, you know, like, I remember when I was a kid. Actually, not even a kid. Like, I remember this was maybe 7 years ago. We used to laugh at China for having, like, the firewall of China, people called it. Because, like, they keep banning sites from the West, right? So they're banning sites from the West, they're not allowing social media, and we would mock them. It was like, oh, you know, like, ha ha ha, the Great Firewall of China. And people were laughing also due to the fact that it's like, oh, so like the Chinese citizen is incapable of deciding for himself what is true and what isn't. He needs the help of the government. And now literally the EU is like that. Like the EU is talking about banning Twitter. The EU is talking about, you know, like banning Russian misinformation. And I'm like, okay, so now you have like the Great Firewall of EU. Congratulations. We used to laugh at that. Yeah, I mean, this is what Elon Musk should do. So, like, if you're a Twitter employee, you gotta get Twitter Blue. You gotta pay $8 to get the blue checkmark so you can poop at work. Like, if you do not have the payment, if you do not pay the $8, then you can't poop at work. That's a fantastic idea. I should tell that to Elon Musk. I should tell it to the quartering. Apparently, Elon Musk listens to the quartering. By the way, speaking of Twitter, there are some twats which are trying to get Pippa the platform from Twitter. It's fucking hilarious, but sad at the same time, because I like Pippa. And if she gets banned from Twitter, how will I talk to her? Holy shit. But they're going back in time. They're going back into the past. Like, they're flagging her shit from 1 to maybe 2 years ago. Let me scroll down and see what. Okay, so she said KWS in Minecraft. This was September 17, 2021. This got her a strike on Twitter. She's got another strike for saying if anyone else touches you, I'll kill and eat you. This is on August the 7th, 2021. Holy shit. The offense archaeologists, they're digging in deep. Another person gave her another strike for saying, can't believe Niji Sanji told me to end myself. Remove tweet violating rules against promoting or encouraging suicide or self-harm. Who did she piss off, though? Who did she piss off? And how is this promoting self-harm? Like, she's basically like, can't believe that someone threatened me, right? Like, promoting or encouraging. This is from November. Okay, this is recent. If she was not recent. Why is it that every single fucking person that I like on the fucking internet has to get in trouble with some fucking community? Why can't they be normal? She's big now, so she has more haters. Yeah, no, quite dedicated haters, it seems. Like, dude, like, Jesus fuck, like, going down years of tweets. Like, Pippa tweets a lot. Like, that woman lives on fucking Twitter. Like she is there. Like, if I go down, you know what I find on Twitter? I find Pippa. Because that's her real life. And, like, she posts so many messages and to have to go through all of them. Like, you gotta go through tens of thousands of tweets just to go to those from last year. It might be her fetishes video. That is... No, I think it's her collab with Jim, honestly. But it could also be, like, her fetish video. It's probably... But, like... It's Twitter, right? Like, why would they go on Twitter and not... I don't think it's her fetish videos, because if that was the case, like, she would get in trouble on YouTube. Like, they would report her videos, not her tweets. I think she tweeted something that upset people. I think they hate her because she doesn't want Medicare to die. Who the fuck wants Medicare to die? Okay. Sure. Show the fetish vid. She made a video where she's like ranking all the fetishes from like the best to worst, I guess. The thing is, like, you know, when you look at the things that get striked, you're like, oh fucking hell, like, come on. You know, like, this is so fucking tame compared to 2016. I grew up in the young internet. I thought death threats were just part of. Well, you know, like, here's the definition of a threat according to Romania. Right? And I feel like my country has the sanest take on this, and this is what the West should need. So, a threat, according to Romanian law, okay, not common tongue, but Romanian law, a threat needs to have two parts. The first part of a threat needs to be that it's something illegal, right? So, like, you can't threaten someone with legal action. It needs to be like threatening someone with something illegal. And the second part is that the threat needs to be believable, right? So, like, what does that mean? If I have, like, a stick, and I say I'm going to avocadabra you, and I go avocadabra, right? Like, that is not a threat. Even though, like, it's illegal, because, like, I'm trying to cast a spell that will kill you, right? Like, that is the illegal part. But it's not believable, right? Because magic doesn't exist. However, if I have a bag, like a school bag, and I throw it in the middle of the crowded market and I say I got a bomb. Okay, well that's believable, right? Because like people don't know what's in the bag. So, you know, like someone can justify, no, like I believed him. Okay, now, if you utter a threat over the internet, like you're Skullfuck47 and you say I will shank you in the shower, that is not a believable threat. Like you do not believe that the guy you're playing Call of Duty with is actually going to fucking find out where you are, come to your house, and wait for you in the shower. That just doesn't fucking happen. Right? Like, or the dreaded KYS. It's like, he's not a snake that hypnotizes and forces you to fucking do it. I mean, even South Park used to make those jokes. But apparently, those are the most flagged on the internet. Like, they're really bad. It's probably like one of the worst things, like after slurs, is that 3-letter word. I just like, why? Who decided that? How did I survive that? Like when I was a kid, I would log on an Xbox and I would constantly hear that. It was like an endearing encouragement for people, and yet I fucking survived. And everyone else survived. I mean, look, if you were to bring the 2016 internet down, like if you had the time machine and you brought the, like, I'm curious, like what would the blue check bars do? Like they would implode. I did not watch Despicable Blue, no. By the way, this Sunday we're going to watch Demolition Man. For those of you who joined late and you didn't know what's going to happen, we're going to watch Demolition Man Sunday. Demolition. Same hour like we watched the anime. And maybe next week we can finally watch RoboCop. And that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you for watching the stream. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of entertainment out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed. RoboCop is cooler. I agree. I wanted to watch RoboCop, to be honest, but I put it up to a vote. People wanted to watch Demolition Man. Vox Populus, Vox Dei. You know, what can I do? Discord link. Oh, come on. Why do you not know my Discord? It's literally every fucking where. I put it on my Twitter, I put it on my main channel, I put it on my secondary channel, I put it on my fucking live. How can you not get the... I will give you the Discord link. Give me a second. Do you know what I'm doing right now? Do you want to know? I'm getting the Discord link. Here we go. You know, go in. Go wild. We got a dog on Discord now. I also invited a girl on my Discord. There is a woman now on the Discord. She likes to like here's the thing about this woman. It's like, V, why do you care about this particular woman? Do you not have other? I do have other women. But like this one is special because I found her endearing. Okay, so the name of this woman is 31. It's kind of like that android in Star Trek, you know, when they realized they need some titillation for the young generation and they brought like 6. Do you guys know the android 6? They ruined her in Picard. But before they ruined her in... No, sorry, my bad, not 6. 7 of 9. Holy shit. This is the one. Look at this. Hold on. Sure. This is what was on mainstream television, chat. This was like 7 of 9. I grew up with her. Chat. Was famous actress. So anyway, right. We got our own 7 of 9 now. She is 31. That's her name on Discord. Apparently, like no, seriously, like when I tell you the life story of this lady, it's very endearing. Kind of like you know, Britain Has Talent. Like before they start singing, they tell you their life story in order to make the people more sympathetic. This is what I'm doing. I'm making her more sympathetic. So I get this girl, you know, like a couple of years ago, like contacted me on Twitter in DMs. Turns out she's gay. She was born that way. But she's from California. And she doesn't like the fact that all the people she knows are woke. And she can't find a relationship. Because, like, every woman that she dates, she's part of the California culture. And, like, you know what? You need a girl that has Jesus. You need a trad wife. You need a conservative woman. And then it came to me, it's like, hold on a little bit. Conservative women rarely happen to be... That's a problem. So you know, like, I felt for her. Like, I felt for her plight. It moved me. It touched me. And, yeah, I've been talking to her, and now she's on my server. She's very shy, by the way. Apparently, she only went to woke servers. And one of the reasons, like, she didn't want to join my Discord is because she was afraid that she will have fun, and then she will not be able to reintegrate with her woke friends, which are bullying her. So, yeah, if you go on my Discord and you see this number, this lady 31, right? Like, now you know who she is. Be nice to her. She gets bullied. Or don't be nice to her, that's fine, I don't mind. But if I were you, I'd be nice to her. Because, like, she's got interesting stories to tell. Can I find a conservative girl for her? No, I cannot. Like, how many women do you think I know? Like, okay, so, like, not only would I need to know a woman, it would have to be one from California, and she would have to be conservative. Like, dude. The fuck do you think I am? I don't think even Tinder can help in her situation. I think she's doomed to be forever alone. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, so like, everything in her life goes towards the way of cats. So, like, she's in California. I mean, that's strike one. Like, you're in California. Like, even if I was a guy in California, like, finding a woman that's a keeper in California, holy shit. Okay, but she's also, like, gay, and she doesn't like women that are liberals. And she's in California. So, like, she needs to go to Japan. This is the only thing that I can think of. Like, she needs to go to Japan. In Japan, she would find a woman. That's the only solution and advice that I have. Go to Japan. Thailand? I don't know. Like, is that no? Probably Japan. South Korea. I would also suggest an Islamic nation, but I think that like while she may find the conservative women and like an Islamic nation, there may be other problems that she would have to deal with. Move to Florida? I don't know. I think Japan is the best. Japan is number one. Taiwan number one. Is Taiwan allowing that? I think Taiwan is allowing. Yeah, Taiwan is another one. Although, like, Taiwan, you know, with the international relationships, they might not be peaceful with China for long, and it's, you know, you never know. Florida, but she needs to drop the California. You know what? You talk to her. Like, you go on Discord, you contact 31, you tell her, look, I understand. But, like, you can come to Florida. We can make it work, but, like, you gotta drop the... By the way, like, apparently in Texas, like, if you go with like a California number on your car, like, people apparently are mean to you. It's what I heard. Like, if you have a Californian sticker and you go to Texas, like, people get upset. Is that a thing? Can you have a gun in Japan? I don't fucking know. Japan is as expensive or more expensive. Miami is cheaper. It depends where in Japan, right? Like, if you go to Tokyo, yeah. But, like, if you go to a rural place, you're probably fine. Anyway. I guess I fixed 31's problem. She needs to go to Japan. Problem solved. If you guys have any more problems, just tell me. I'll figure it out. Let me know what you think. And I will see